Now, while the recent arrival of the COVID-19 vaccine in South Africa has been welcomed, the idea of being vaccinated is still a cause for concern and skepticism for many people. The Ndlovu Youth Choir has found creative ways, let's say, to encourage people to unite to fight the pandemic and get vaccinated. They've released a new song called Jab Jab. Take a look. Yep, that's the Ndlovu Youth Choir urging everyone to get vaccinated. Let's get you an idea of the thinking behind this and bring in artistic director of this world-renowned choir, might I add, Ralph Schmidt, joining us via our video link. Ralph, always great chatting to you. Thanks for making time for us once again. That's the song to be playing at all the vaccination centres, surely. Take us through what went into this.
Yeah, well, hopefully. I mean, what we wanted to do is just create something to encourage people to get vaccinated. And for those that are really against getting vaccinated, at least open the discussion about it. And, you know, we've got such a rich history in South Africa of song and dance, so no better way to do it than through music.
That's exactly where I was going. Music has gotten us through other moments as well. I mean, for people who couldn't grasp the message of that song, take us through it.
Yeah, well, basically what we're saying is if we want to get back to any sense of normality, the vaccine is probably the most powerful weapon in our arsenal against COVID-19. You know, we all know the pandemic has taken thousands of South African lives, but also secondary effects of people losing their jobs, the hospitality, our own entertainment industry, and then also not to mention the impact on education for young people. You know, schools being disrupted, starting late. So we need to get a hold on this thing, and we firmly believe that the vaccine plays a very important role. And if we can encourage it, just one person to take it who didn't want to take it beforehand, well, then it's worth it.
And that's what it's going to take, right? President Cyril Ramaphosa can only do so much. The health minister can only do so much. But getting the country to where we need it to be, which is about 40 million people essentially getting the jab jab, as the Ndlovu Youth Choir puts it, it's going to need a collective effort.
Absolutely. I mean, we have to realize, I mean, as cheesy as it sounds, you know, we're all in this together. You know, we can't just think that a few of us are going to get the vaccine, because then the virus just keeps, if we're not all safe, nobody's safe. So, you know, I think we will continue along this trend and seeing where we can assist and help get the message out. I think also as an artist, you know, if you have a platform, it's a great thing to do. If there is a public service message that you feel strongly about, as we do about this, then use your platform to get that message out and use your talents to encourage people to do the right thing.
100%. Also, a quick reminder about us using what we can where we are to contribute in the fight against the virus. So the idea comes to you or to one of the team members in the choir. How do you then put it together? I mean, already a few of us were nodding to the beat and things like that. There's also musicality that goes into all of this, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. I came up with the idea. We did a few coronavirus public service messages last year where we were, you know, particularly showing poorer communities how to protect themselves. It was before the days of masks and sanitizer and where people were being advised to self-isolate and wash their hands. And we were saying, well, a lot of people don't even have running water. So how do you wash? So we did a whole video on washing your hands with a bucket. And how to do that safely. So following up on this, you know, it was just a natural progression for us as we'd started with the COVID public service messages to do this. It was entirely our own initiative. And yeah, then it's getting into studio, getting a song, and also finding an angle. I don't think it's our place to talk about the efficacy of the different the different vaccines, the Pfizer, or AstraZeneca, or Moderna. That's not really for us to comment on. For us, it is just to say, young people want to party. They want to get back to normal. They want to do their thing. And if you want to do that, we believe you've got to get the vaccine.
Yeah. Are you not worried, though, about the choir entering a contentious space, so to speak? I mean, for better or for worse, the vaccination has become an incredibly politicized issue. The anti-vaxxers have always been around. And for many people, things like choirs, typically don't tread that line. You stay clear of all the political mudslinging, for lack of a better term. You're not worried about that?
Well, I can tell you that we've never received the level of abuse that we have online since releasing this video. It's unprecedented for us. Wow. But we've stuck to our guns. People, to me, when it gets personal to young people, that's when you just, ignore the comment. Because anybody who's commenting like that is it's not worth engaging. But there are a lot of people that said, lovely song, beautifully done, but I'm still not getting the vaccine. But that's exactly what we want them to do. We want them to think about getting the vaccine. At least it's opened the thought process for them. And yeah, it is a controversial topic, but I think, music and arts have never shied away from controversy, and particularly if it's something you believe strongly in. And our country has got such a wonderful history of young people believing in something and acting on it.
Yeah, it's also very easy for us to get stuck in our own enclaves, our silos, where people just echo the sentiments we have. So at the risk of having an uncomfortable discussion, what are some of the views that people are saying in a pushback against the song?
Yeah, people are saying, why are you young people doing this? This is propaganda. All sorts of things. People basically say, this isn't the place for young people to do this. And so, but the point is, our net following on our social media has increased since we released it. And as I was saying to somebody yesterday, the way the algorithms of these social platforms work, the more the anti-vaxxers engage with it and comment on it, the more it appears on their friends and like-minded people's timelines. And that's exactly what we want to achieve.
Okay, perhaps this is not their intention, clearly, but here we are. It's interesting they bring up what young people should and shouldn't be doing. Take us through what some of the young people who are part of the song are actually thinking when it comes to vaccines and the vaccination program.
I'm very glad you've asked that question, because we've taken that very seriously. We've had numerous discussions with them around the vaccine, and there were some choristers that expressed some concern about doing this project beforehand. And also, expressed concern that, they don't necessarily understand exactly how this vaccine works, and they need some clarity on it. So we went to great effort to provide that. We had our medical doctor, Dr. Hugo Tempelman, came to speak to the guys for I think an hour and a half, and where they could have a question answer, explain exactly about how vaccines work, the trials that they've been done all around the world. People are happy to buy polony, but they're worried about a vaccine that has been through numerous rigorous regulatory tests and challenges and trials and so on and so forth. So let's just explain to them that this has been also, we all know that the coronavirus vaccine has actually been, been worked on since the SARS outbreak. Many years ago. So obviously it was accelerated last year. So it's not as if it's just this cocktail that people spun together in October and said to us, guys, okay, now you're going to take it now. It's been the science behind it, and the rest, the world's regulatory authorities would not have approved it if there wasn't serious. So I'm not a scientist, I'm a musician, so I'm going to keep quiet at this point about that part. But we went to great effort to explain that to the choristers, and we also gave them an opt-out option. To any of them who did not want to be part of the production were allowed to opt out or given the opportunity to do so, and none of them did.
Absolutely. Well, if anything's been consistent over our history, is that music has always reflected the issues of our times. And despite the differences around the song, we can't deny at least that. Thanks very much for coming through onto the AM Report. Really appreciate it.